Let us begin by reading the word problem out loud. Adam currently has a total of $1,756 in his savings account. The cost of tuition for his first semester of college is $2,242. How much more money does Adam need in order to cover the full cost of his first semester of college? Let us begin our strategy for problem solving by analyzing the problem. Keep in mind that the first thing we want to identify when analyzing the problem is what it is exactly we're asked to find. In this case, the question is, how much more money does Adam need in order to cover the full cost of his first semester of college? So ideally, all we really need is, how much more money does Adam need? So that's going to be ideally what we want to find. So now that we know what our variable is going to represent, let's go ahead and jump to step 2 and assign a variable. So we'll go ahead and let x represent the following. So we'll go ahead and let x equal the amount of money Adam will need in order to cover the full cost of his first semester of college. Again, our assigning of the variable, it's basically the question reworded in the form of a statement. So now that we've assigned a variable and done step 2, let's go ahead and go back to step 1 and analyze the problem. So what else do we know? Well, we know that Adam currently has a total of $1,756 in his savings account. So that's going to be a key thing, knowing that number. So 1,756, go ahead and circle that. And then let's see what else we know. Well, we know that the cost of tuition for his first semester of college is $2,242. So we have two values, and what we want to find is the value x. So actually, we already have all the information that we need. So let's go ahead and form an equation. Now, we're going to start it off by working with what it is that he needs for his first semester of college tuition. So that's going to be a total of $2,242. That's the total amount that he needs in order to cover his first semester of college tuition. And now what we know is that he currently has $1,756. That's what he currently has. So if he wants to get from 1,756 to 2,242, we're going to have to want to add a certain amount to that. And that amount that we want to add is exactly what we're looking for, which is what we're missing, which is represented by a variable x. So it's going to go ahead and be an equation. So now that we have our equation set up, we're going to go ahead and solve the equation. So we'll start off by bringing it down. 2,242 is equal to 1,756 plus x. And now when solving the equation, keep in mind what you want to do. You want to get the variable x completely by itself. So right now, we are currently adding 1,756 to it. So we want to undo this addition. The only way to undo addition is through subtraction. So we're going to want to subtract this value from both sides of the equation. So let me go ahead and do so. So we'll end up with 2,242 minus 1,756 is equal to 1,756 plus x minus 1,756. Now the point of this is that on the right hand side we have the x, but now the positive 1,756 is going to simplify out with the negative 1,756, leaving us only with our desired value of x. And now on the left hand side we're going to have to simplify this down. So I'm going to go ahead and do that off to the top right. So we're going to go ahead and have 2,242 minus 1,756. So 2 minus 6, we can't do that, so we have to borrow from the 4, which now becomes a 3. And now our 2 becomes a 12. So now we can do 12 minus 6, which gives us 6. And now we're going to do 3 minus 5. Similarly, we cannot do that, so we have to borrow from the 2 next door. The 2 becomes a 1, and our 3 becomes a 13. So 13 minus 5 gives us 8. And then we're going to do 1 minus 7. When we cannot do that, so we have to borrow from the 2, which becomes a 1, making our 1 and 11. So 11 minus 7 gives us 4. And now 1 minus 1 gives us 0, so we're left with 486. And that's going to be our value for x. So now that we know the value of x, let's go ahead and state the conclusion clearly. I'll go ahead and state it as the following. So we'll have Adam needs $486 in order to cover the full cost of his first semester of college. So now let us go ahead and check the result. Again, when checking the result, you want to start off with the original equation found in step 3. So we're going to have 2,242 is equal to 1,756 plus x. However, we now know the value of x, so I'm going to go ahead and substitute that in. And we'll end up with 2,242 is equal to 1,756 plus x, which is 486. So now what we need to do is simplify the right-hand side of the equation while the left-hand side stays the same. So I'm going to go ahead and do that off to the side, and we'll have 1,756 plus 486. So 6 plus 6 gives us 12. We bring down to 12, carry the 1. Now 1 plus 5 plus 8 gives us 14. So I'll bring down the 4, carry up the 1. And then 1 plus 7 plus 4 is 12. So I'll bring down the 12 and carry up the 1. And then 1 plus 1 gives us 2. So we end up with 2,242. And the right-hand side is now equal to the left-hand side. So we have a true statement. And whenever you have a true statement, that's a verification that our solution is correct. So we are good to go.